Hi, I'm Phil Bainbridge, and this is a quick tutorial video for the blog post to email notifications on Drive file changes. So the idea of this is you can set X number of hours where you want the script to automatically check in and see if there have been any changes to a Google Drive file, and if there has, to ping you an email to let you know of that. So I've got a Google Drive folder here already with two items in it. One of them is a copy of the file from the blog post with the code in, and the other one is just simply a blank Google Sheet, which is the thing we're going to look at to see if there's been any changes of, or just a test Google Sheet. So the code looks a little bit raw, but there's only really this section that we need to look at filling in. So first of all, we need the ID of the Google Drive file that we want notifications for. So this is kind of one script per file. So here is a Google Sheet in this example, and I'm going to grab the ID from the long URL at the top, like so. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste that in between the single quotes like that, so it should remain red. Next, we want to select how frequently we want to check for changes. So we've got the options of 1 to kind of 12 hours with those increments there. By default, I've set it for 2. So what I'm saying is every 2 hours, check to see if there have been any edits or changes to the file in the last 2 hours. If so, email me. And then the last piece of information is to pop in an email address where you want the email notification to go through. This can also be a Google group if you wish, but you just pop that in there like that. That's it, basically. All we're going to do now is we're going to run this function create trigger. But what that means is it's going to create something in this example that will run every 2 hours continuously until we ever come back in and stop it. So to do that, this option up here should automatically by default be set to create trigger. So I just drop it down. There are a couple of different options, but we want the create trigger option there. And then what we're going to do is select the run button. Okay. Once you've gone through the authorization pop-up, you will then get a success message. So that has now created our trigger. What this means is it's done. It's created the code and the trigger that it needs to check every 2 hours if there's been any changes. Just to absolutely confirm, if you want to, on the left-hand side here, you've got an option called triggers. And if I click on that, you've got an entry in there now for what is set up to run. So that's it. If you have any problems or you need to change the time or you want to cancel what you've done, then if you use the drop-down option up here at the top and you select delete triggers and then click run, what will happen now is it will clear all of those out automatically. And again, just to absolutely confirm that, you can go to triggers on the left-hand side and there's no entry in there whatsoever. So again, if you wanted to then change that and rerun it, just remember to change that to create trigger. Great, thank you very much.